I crack open my lukewarm can of ginger beer?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, crisp.
that's a sizzle. Alright.
Like, we can put that in our intro.
Hello, and welcome to Ears for Dragon, an Eragon reread podcast. I'm your host, Charlie,
I'm Nick.
I'm Shan.
and I'm on summary this week. Woohoo!
Alright.
Brace yourselves, it's one of my summaries. This may take a little minute.
Tell us the names of the chapters today, Charlie.
This week we read chapter 21, Gil'ead, chapter 22, Through a Dragon's Eye, and chapter 23, A Song for the Road. So at the start of chapter 21, Brom and Eragon arrive at Gil'ead, which is a small village on the banks of the Ninor River. Saphira is still forced to hide a wee ways away, and Gil'ead is suspiciously empty. Eragon's worried that they might have a repeat of Yurzak on their hands, but as they move through the abandoned streets, the wagons kind of draw in to block their way, and they're stopped by a man named Trevor. Trevor has archers on the roofs and says that kind of a militia of villagers is surrounding them, and he and Brom exchange words, mostly Brom convincing him that they mean no harm and aren't going to start any funny business. Trevor tells them that Urgles and, quote, worse fiends have led the town to be very wary, but nobody in the town will leave. And Brom gives him news of Yurzak. He's pretty sad about that because he had some friends there. Brom buys some supplies from the townsfolk by having them bring them to him, and he gives them some coins. There's like no touch contact for some reason, and then promises to tell the authorities what's happened here and in Yurzak when they reach the next town. Previously, he's lied and said that they were going to Drusleona, which is not where they're going. Eragon and Brom leave the town, and to a extremely angry Saphira, who's very worried about Eragon's safety. She pins him to the ground and makes him promise to ride with her the next day. Oh, and before that, Brom tells Eragon that he was able to handle the situation with Trevor so well because he could sense his intentions, and launches into an explanation on how telepathy works in this world. At camp, Eragon is way too good at sword fighting and breaks their sticks, so Brom shows him how to blunt his sword with magic, and they fight with those. It's hard, and Eragon gets beaten up again, and then they go to bed. Chapter 22. Eragon's really scared to ride Saphira again, but goes through with it anyway. And when he gets up there, Saphira does a barrel roll and scares him really bad for no reason.
There's a reason.
Well, there is a reason. And then does some very cool, maybe dragon magic, maybe regular magic, and mind melds with him. He can see through her eyes. All the colours are all weird and scary, and she sees like a lot of blue, and the meld kind of keeps getting more and more intense until they're basically a single entity. And they fly around for a while, and Eragon can kind of feel how much Saphira loves flying and how much she's like having fun having him there with her, and the experience soothes his worryings about, you know, being a dragon rider, I guess. Well, not the whole situation, but the riding the dragon part is chill. Brom eventually reaches out to Eragon via telepathy, though Eragon's kind of initially trying to block him out using a technique that Brom taught him literally the day before. They land and meet him by the river where the Razak's tracks have ended. They find gouges in the earth by the river, and conclude they must have flown on from this point on something dragon-like, because they're similar to the way that the gouges that Saphira leaves when she takes off. It seems like this is where their journey ends, and Eragon gets very sad and thinks of home and storms off into the woods and trips over a flask that is kind of half buried in the dirt. And he finds it is filled with, it's got the Razak symbol on it, and it's filled with extremely expensive oil poison, which is made from cursed jeweler's oil. Eragon, in a moment of rare intelligence, declares that if they track down the people selling the original oil, they can follow the paper trail to where the Razak live. Brom knows a merchant in the seaport town of Terim who might be able to help, so they plot a course through the spine and to the city. And chapter 23, A Song for the Road. Eragon and Brom start making their way to Terim. Brom sings Eragon a little song about the ocean that he's translated from the original Elvish. They travel. Brom describes the sea to Eragon. Eragon begins to see the fruits of his training and now hunts exclusively using magic. And like shooting a little rock with psychic magic. It's pretty cool. It's more travel, and Brom explains the routes some more. Eragon remarks on the changing terrain and is happy to be back near the mountains. The road to Terum is very damp and mossy. They decide on fake names, Neil for Brom and Evan for Eragon, and that is the end of the chapter.
All right.
Yeah. I
like these chapters.
I like these chapters quite a lot. They're quite fun.
I know I'm not on summaries, so obviously my notes aren't quite so in-depth, but I've got shit like Eragon flying rock killer moment.
That is something that...
And Brom would never survive the West Coast.
He hates it. Let's go through it chronologically.
Walking to Darrett's pretty funny because it's almost directly mirroring walking into Yar's work.
Yeah, I like the way these two chapters are kind of paired, like right down to the fact that they're both just named after the town that you get they go to.
Yeah.
Is the Terum chapter just called Terum? I'm not sure. No, it's called The Taste of Terum.
Taste of Terum.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, I guess. Like it was interesting at least. The Theransford one is also just called Theransford. But yeah, no, it was a really good mirror, and along with the Yarzak chapter does a really good job like setting up the kind of like dangerous times aspect. It definitely feels like the region's really unsettled. Which is cool.
On the other hand, I do have a small problem with just why is everyone waiting in militia position at all times for no reason?
Yeah, maybe they had scouts or like a tower and saw them coming.
Yeah.
Like they are on just like a huge flat plain. My problem is more with how Saphira is hiding, because they are on like a huge plain, and she's a gigantic beast in the sky. Yeah, I think
she must be really, really far away.
I think she's really high up.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're like copses of trees and bushes, because they keep being in them.
Yeah, they're in the trees by the river, so she might be hiding in there.
Yeah, and this town's near the river, so there might be like trees and stuff nearby.
But yeah, I don't know how they would have seen Brom and Eragon coming and not seen the big fucking dragon trailing them.
And then say, like, hide all the children and everybody and get on the fucking roofs. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a good setup, and it's definitely like... Eragon's like, I could use magic to get us out of this, and it's like, no, dog. There are 60 archers pointing weapons at you right now.
Does he say I can, he says I got to use magic to save me and Brom.
I do like the transition of his thinking towards Brom as like this cool, incredible, wise old guy to like, oh my god, I have to stop Grandpa from getting killed.
Oh my god, they're gonna put Grandpa on a stake. I have some, I feel like it's kind of questionable that they go, oh, this guy is accosting us with his militia and he's swarthy and dark-skinned.
I did notice
Which is,
that.
I have to say, it's a word I didn't know what it meant until a couple of years ago. I had to Google it. So I've never thought about this ever before when reading this book, but questionable.
Yeah, it's kind of, and he's got a big broadsword, and like it's kind of like,
yeah, and he's also like explicitly foreign to the region. They bring that up later, that he's not even
from here.
He's not even from here.
Yeah, I think it is. Again, like, definitely drawing
it's
on...
It's very fantasy.
Yeah, it's just drawing on tropes.
It's a fantasy word, that's why I didn't know what it meant for a long time.
Nobody says... If somebody says swarthy in real life, it's like, oh, you're a racist.
And kind of a weird one.
Yeah, and like calling it kind of an archaic, like, weird British racist. That was kind of... And I think when we get into later where there are more characters of colour coming in, I think we're going to have to kind of be on the lookout, just because it was a little white boy writing this, a little teenage white boy in the woods, so he's probably not going to be in a hole in the ground. He's probably not going to be the coolest dude around. But yeah, that was mid. That was a bit weird.
I want to know what the worst fiends than Urgles are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was so like... If 50 Urgles can wipe out a whole town, what the fuck is a worse fiend, and how did you repel it?
Yeah, like, you guys couldn't repel a shade. The Razak are trying to keep their cover. Like...
I think he's making it up. He's making it up. Yeah, he's lying through his teeth.
Is Brom lying to this guy when he says, like, that they went through Uazak 2 weeks ago? Because I did a little bit of... Actually, this is the reason why I was kind of late bringing my
Were you
summaries
trying to do the
forward,
research
because
to
I was
see if,
trying to
like,
do the
has it been 2 weeks?
tracking maths, and look how close these two towns are together on the map. I guess we'll put it in the show notes or something. Yozak and Darrett are really, really, really close, and then they get to the spine in like 3 days. They get to what's the river by Tiram?
The Toa?
The Torak, yeah, they get to that in like a week, maybe.
Did they specify how long it takes? I thought we had a bit of a nondescript time skip in there.
I thought it was I thought it was like a week or so. I think he says it'll take us a week to get to the spine.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean to the river. If they're just walking to the spine, that's
They
not
could
very
just
far
go right
away.
to it.
They could go to the Great Lake Fläm.
Flam?
Yeah, Fläm. It's
Oh.
just ever so slightly. I'm just noticing that the compass on here has its own little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not telling you what the actual directions are. Well, I guess north is north.
Well, slightly southeast of Darrett, or southwest of Darrett, is
Me and the
ocean
landscape.
Fläm.
Going to Flam.
Is the Lake Fläm.
Let's see. I'm checking. Yeah, it says they're at Darrett basically, and it says, can we reach the pass within a week? And that is so fucking far to go. So I think he just lied to those guys. I think they were at Yozak like 2 or 3 days ago. And he lied to them for no reason. Which, like...
I don't know. He got like wounded and shit. Maybe they're just going
true.
slowly.
And they did get, like, horrifically beat up in the sandstorm.
That's true, yeah. I think they just had a really bad time at Yozak and had to chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think that it was like a particularly like I'm lying, I'm extending this time frame like massively.
Maybe it's like a week away to Yazawak, because this guy
Yeah.
seems to have known some of the people that live there.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty close together, so, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. I love this kind of stuff. I love plotting out how long it would take to get to places.
I don't look at the map at all.
I look at it constantly. I'm obsessed with fantasy maps. Carverhall and Theransford are like a day away from each other, and
Yeah.
Yozak and Darrett are about as close. So I feel like they would know. They're like friend
they know each
villages.
other.
Yeah, and they're on a
They're
river. They can
neighbours.
get on boats and go see their. Well, not anymore, I guess.
Well,
Yeah. I don't think that Brom was necessarily lying when he said they were going to Dras Leona either.
Were they?
They're tracking some other people. They don't know specifically
I
where
think,
they're
yeah.
going, but
That's
they've mentioned Dras Leona before.
it's like the right direction for it.
Yeah. Oh, and also like they are going to Dras Leona. They just don't
They'll
know
get there
it.
eventually. But like,
The cover is coming off my book. I need to retake it. Yeah,
I think it's interesting how this town's like kind of cool with the king.
I thought
Yeah.
that was really interesting that Trevor was in his army and like is just kind of like, oh, surely he will come and save us.
Yeah.
Do we think that the Palancar Valley guys are kind of weirdos?
yeah.
Yeah, they are, because
They
they're...
live in a fucking valley on the edge of the country.
They're like totally isolated.
and they're isolated and they see outsiders twice a year and they hate them.
They're dudes from Greymouth, basically.
Eragon's from fucking Greymouth.
Oh my god, he's getting bitten by so many
Oh
bugs.
my god.
No.
The world's savior is from Greymouth.
Sorry if you're from Greymouth and you're listening to this, I'm sure it's fine.
If you're from Greymouth, congratulations on
Getting the
Anyway,
Ragging on a
Yeah.
town of like 10,000 people for no
Yeah.
it's
reason.
not their fault.
I also don't think there was any specification during their transaction that they were avoiding skin contact or anything.
He's like, he refuses to shake his hand, and then I don't
he
think it's for any
refuses to
particular
get close
reason.
to him
But
because they don't trust them to not attack and kill.
yeah.
And then they bring a big pile of things and put them on the ground because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Hand them to him?
They've like weeks of supplies. He's gonna have to get off the horse and pack them away.
No, I think it's
Maybe I didn't
like, I'm not
think.
going to shake your hand because I think you're going to shank me if
Yeah.
I'm close to you, right?
Yeah, they're not like avoiding skin contact. They're avoiding getting close to each other at all. But he just pays them normally. Like he's not like
Yeah.
throwing little coins across.
Tink, tink. I do love this little guy who like comes and scurries and gives him all his stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, I mean, this place is just kind of nothing happens.
Yeah.
Also, I think I made up the freaky river town. I think it's in the movie and
Yeah, I
nowhere
gotta
else.
say, I read this and was like, what the hell were they talking about?
Yeah,
There's not,
actually-
these guys were being completely
They're so
rational.
normal.
These guys are
Yeah.
normal.
This is like the response, aside from being in constant militia formation or whatever, this is exactly the normal thing to do in the situation.
Yeah, no, I think that is a movie invention, and I really liked that scene, and it stuck with me. So it's okay. We are going to tear them, and I like it there.
Yeah.
Don't worry, listeners, if you subscribe to us on Patreon, we'll have a exclusive movie screening.
Oh my god, surely.
We got to talk about the TV show at some point.
Yeah, we could
but
also do a Eragon game Let's Play.
we got content
I
lined
would
up
love
for
it.
days.
I
We
would love
own
to-
that game on Xbox.
We do. We don't have any Xbox though.
Tom has my Xbox.
Oh, Tom has your Xbox.
Yeah.
We have, oh my god, we could do
Is
it.
it 360 or old Xbox?
It's a 360, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's a 360.
Yeah,
game.
it's I don't know, it's a piece of trash. I
We
bought
have
from
we have
somebody on
played we
Facebook
have
Oh,
played
it's
the
a
game
360.
on the specific Xbox.
Yeah, we have
so
played
it's
it.
the
Yeah,
right
it is.
one.
It sucks.
I'm saying I've got the old Xbox. So
Oh, you've got the Xbox.
We also have our epic capture card that we love to use to pirate things.
yeah, my old Xbox had a cracked game cartridge, and I could play like what's the boomerang game with the Australian?
Kangaroo Jack? That's a movie.
Nah, it's
Rayman?
like he's like a Tasmanian devil, but he's not Taz. Anyway.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can picture him perfectly in my mind, but I don't remember what he's called.
Yeah, they did a speed run of that game at one of the GDQs.
Was it 3 seconds?
I don't know. It was pretty standard.
I feel like
played the game.
those older games are kind of... I looked up the, not Gex, but Scalar. Do you remember Scalar?
Oh, I love
Scalar.
Scalar.
Yeah, looked up the Scalar. That's the first game that Matt Mercer was ever a voice actor in, by the way. Looked up the Scalar speedrun the other day, and it's like an hour and a half.
They had to play those games for real.
Yeah. It's like... And that's the any percent.
Ugh.
Like, it's... Those old, like, console games are so airtight that it's so difficult to speedrun them. It's crazy. Anyway.
Anyway,
I'm obsessed negative with the fact that Brom got, as they're leaving, is like, so were you like mind reading that guy like I was?
Oh my
And then
God.
like 2 pages later, after he's like, what do you mean you weren't mind reading him? He's like, mind reading is one of the most evil things you should ever do.
never mind read.
The writers had strict rules against mind reading because of how evil and horrible it was to mind read people.
It's okay if I
Like
do
2 pages after being like, what do you mean you weren't mind reading?
it. Never even brought up that it's, like, possible to do it to anybody except your dragon.
No.
And, like, he did it to a horse on accident once.
Yeah.
And now Brom's like, you should be able to do this on command.
You don't know
should
how
do
to
it all the
mind
time.
read?
Yeah. He's like, you don't know how to mind read, you weren't mind reading. And then he's like, it's evil, it's a horrible thing to do. It takes years to even, of being a writer, to even gain the ability to do it.
And then does it to him one chapter later.
And gets mad.
Also, like, he's saying, I was just passively doing it, by the way. You know,
Yeah.
the worst crime of all.
You know, I can just passive. I'm an empath. I can just sense. If he's such a
Yeah.
fucking empath, why isn't he being nicer to this grief-stricken teenager? Brom's such a hypocrite. I'm gonna, like, Batista bomb him.
I think he's just lying.
I'm sick of him.
He is quite horrid. I love he teaches Eragon how to block people from contacting and reading your mind.
Then he gets so mad at him.
Why were you stopping me from contacting and reading your mind?
Yeah, he teaches him how to do it, and you have to think really hard about one thing, like a brick or whatever.
I think Eragon would take that to heart. He's thinking of a brick.
He's thinking about a
of
brick.
that little rock.
When I was reading that passage, I was like, would I be able to keep somebody out of my mind, and tried to keep an image of it in my brain for even like 10 seconds, and I failed. I was like, okay, what about a moving thing? What about a river? Didn't work. I'd be so easy to possess.
I'd be fine. I could stare at a wall and go, like, mind completely blank. Just sit there.
Lucky lad. The fact that every living thing in Allegasia has some level of telepathy is crazy. Like, earlier Brom's like, some people have the gift for magic, but anybody can learn how to talk to people with their minds.
Every animal knows your feelings exactly.
Yeah.
If you just think hard enough.
If you just think hard enough. And no, there is a line in here that says, anybody can learn to speak with their minds. Like, a fucking street urchin could be like,
no, there's no way.
Where's your stash?
Brom's just saying that to cover up the fact that he knows magic again. Again.
He's obsessed with lying. Just tell him. Like, at this point, just tell him. But
like, what's he gonna fucking do? Rat you out? He's more wanted than you.
God King is gonna kill him. But yeah, I think he's lying, but I hope
like
he's
the
not.
idea,
Because I love the idea that some people can do magic, but everyone can read minds if they try hard enough.
Yeah.
And that's separate. It's not magic.
You're different. It's different.
I love that as a world building thing. I love it as just like implications that everybody's capable, but nobody does it because they all forgot.
It kind of raises the stakes of magic as well. Just that it's so deeply ingrained into the world.
Yeah. I think it's kind of... I mean, I get why it's in there because it, like... from a narrative standpoint and from like a reading standpoint, but I think it's kind of lame that if you are a writer you can instantly sense when somebody's trying to like enter your mind or whatever. I think that like it would have been way cooler if like, I don't know, later down the line he's thinking or doing something that he like realizes like, I would never think or do this is really weird, oh shit, somebody's in here, ding, 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 brick wall. Like, I feel like that would have been a cooler way to go about it, but I get it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's got to be able to be like, Galbatorix is trying to talk to me right
like,
now.
Brom is trying to talk to me right now.
Like some unknown forces trying to speak to me. I'm going to think about a scale really, really, really hard.
He does a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
good.
And Brom's so fucking angry. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's doing epic at the thing you taught him to do yesterday.
I guess we'll
and
talk
you
about
have no
that.
reason to think that...
I think
We'll get
first
into
we
the
should
chapter.
talk about how fucking jealous
Saphira
Saphira is
Yeah.
of that horse again. Get a grip, it's a horse.
You are the problem. Get off the horse.
Yeah, she like leaps at him.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's really funny that she's so jealous of the horse, but later she's just like, yeah, we should alternate days with you and me and the horse. It's like he got sick of him after one day. He was like, actually, no, I don't need to do you every
you're being so
day.
cringe about flying. Can you go back on the horse?
Go hang out with Cadog.
Yeah, I love her "you don't care me" line. She's like, you don't care about me, you're not writing me, you're not hanging out with me.
she
You're
is
so far
right
away
that if...
from me. What if you got him killed and died?
Well, she's right, because then
Yeah,
she would
she'd
get killed
die.
and die.
Yeah, she's completely right, but she's just like, the fact that they specified, okay, because of Yazwick, Saphira is way closer this time, and then they don't do anything with that, and they go and see her again afterwards, and she's like, oh my god, you could have been killed and I was so far away. Why were you so far away?
Maybe you shouldn't have done that. Also, like, just...
We discussed this.
If she kind of knows what's happening with Eragon at all times, they weren't really in any danger. Like,
Like, she could just get over there.
yeah.
Really quick.
I can't wait till she can breathe fire. Just thinking about it, just like, your wagons are gone, goodbye. Yeah, no, she's very teen, which I love.
That's
I
good.
think having a teenage dragon is so funny.
I love when he's like, I'm so
way
much older than you.
So,
I mean, it's true. She's like 6 months old.
It's true. But Eragon, you're 15.
he's almost a man.
I'm so much older than you. I don't need you. I should be looking after you. Eragon, she's a dragon.
She could bite your head off right now.
Like, her developmental period is 4 weeks, and yours is 13 years. Like, come on.
Still going.
Still going. Yeah, she's very funny in this chapter. I love her so much.
The way she speaks is still the same, though. It's so great.
Where is she learning this shit? I'm convinced that Brom is like talking to her at all times and teaching her ways to own Eragon.
Teaching her grammatical structure.
Oh, you don't think that she's got genetic memory of how to be a bitch?
I think she's doing it all on her own.
I think Saphira is learning to read before Eragon is.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think memory of other dragons, I think they're all kind of bitches, so maybe it is genetic memory.
Well, she has genetic memory to hate the Razic.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, there's also genetic memory on how to, own the libs or whatever.
Lewism.
Lewism.
Brom's little spell is very silly.
Brom's little spell for
the
the sword, yeah.
The fact that the word for knife in the
Is
ancient language
knifer.
is so guard the knife is what that
God,
says.
the knife.
It's so stupid.
That's even worse than, like, blunt the knife, like I thought it was. Guard the knife.
Yeah, it's
Come
guard
on,
the
man.
knife. It's like you could have tried just a little bit harder.
And then he fucking whacks him with
Oh
it.
my god.
I love that he's just like, okay, so you gotta remember that these are still dangerous.
You hit me in the neck, I'll die.
We could kill each other with these. Okay, time to...
Like, and it's worse. It's like
Why would he
they're covered in
trust-
welts.
He trusts Eragon to blunt his own blade also. Like,
Yeah, you should, like, check his working on that.
Yeah, you're trusting a new spellcaster to successfully blunt a blade and then attack you with it. You're in danger, old man. Like, real
what a
danger.
death wish.
What if he
Oh, man,
picks it up and he
Guys.
just chops Brom's head off accidentally?
Oh, he's wanted for murder as well.
He'll never tell you what he did to that old man.
Oh my god. Yeah, I love how many of these chapters end with them beating the shit out of each other and then going to
Just,
sleep.
like, fucking falling over to go to sleep.
Alright, whatever.
And then the next one's like, they beat each other up, but they're kind of half-hearted about it, actually.
They're a bit tired.
They're a bit tired.
Oh, today was a bit bad. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, nothing happens well, hey, some things happen
Some
in this
things happen in this chapter.
Yeah, things happen.
they-
Less,
go
less
a
happens in the
place.
next chapters.
He finally gets, like, those gloves to cover
Oh,
up
yeah,
his
to
really
cover his-
suspicious hand.
Yeah.
It's so funny that it glows like a little lantern.
When he casts, yeah. What if he had funny little lace gloves? Like, a little
So
glowy
gentle.
pen.
Oh my god. Like a stencil. Cover it in cellophane. Get a bit of
Like all sparkly.
Yeah.
red light going.
So funny.
I fucking love this chapter.
Oh, you love the descriptions of flying?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What about it? Oh, I love the dragon stuff. Yeah, whatever. I love it. I think it's so much fun.
I like that the saddle works,
Yes,
and that
thank
it's
God.
like not a horrific, awful time.
He's really traumatized about that.
I mean, you would
So
be.
afraid
Yeah.
of it.
He like couldn't walk for a day.
Yeah, couldn't walk for a day. He shouldn't have walked for like 3 or 4 days, but had to.
Yeah.
And then rode a fucking horse.
It's like
The
was
first
still
time like,
healing.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that books work on miscommunication or people not communicating with each other, but the fact that him and Saphira are in constant psychic contact and he couldn't just be like, hey, last time I rode you really hurt me very badly and was really scary, can we maybe, like, be chill about this?
She does a barrel roll
Well,
immediately.
the problem is he's a 15-year-old boy.
And he doesn't know how to say anything.
And she's
She's a 6-month-old dragon.
and she's a precocious girl woman adult who's been alive for 6 months. So
I think she's younger than that even.
the emotional
Intelligence is
maturity
not
and
there.
intelligence between the two of them is not much.
They're so mad at each other.
Yeah, she's so pissed off. It's so funny.
When you go back to fucking Canada.
Yeah, when you go ride your horse, asshole. The mind meld is really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
so cool.
is.
Yeah, I the description of them just being one guy is so cool.
You think Saphira can see shrimp colors?
Absolutely. Clearly. She's
Clearly.
described as seeing
The
shrimp
revelation
Described
that
as seeing
shrimp
shrimp
colours aren't
isn't real.
isn't real. It's so
it's so
devastating
Yeah,
to
it's
sad.
me.
very, very sad. In my heart, shrimp colours is real.
Yeah.
I'll continue to believe in shrimp colours.
I want to know if all the dragons see in blue or if it's because she's blue.
I think
I was
it's because
thinking
she's
that.
blue. I think...
You think the red dragons see more red?
Yeah, I think they see more red.
Yeah,
think
I
that makes
really want to know because it's really funny either way.
What if the fucking gold dragon sees yellow? The gold dragon's actual colourblind.
No, because it would be really funny either way if every dragon just sees a ton of the colour that they are, or if specifically they all see a ton of blue and they think the blue dragons are really cool.
sense. Whoa, you're so blue.
Well, you're so colour.
blue.
Yeah, I hope they see their own colour like heaps and heaps because it doesn't make any sense as an adaptation at all.
No.
Like you want to be seeing a lot of green. Any hunting creature wants to be seeing a lot of green. Or I guess if you're in
I
the
guess
desert.
reds are important to see
Maybe
what's
they
not
haven't
green.
mentioned it, but all of the trees and bushes are blue.
Blue.
They have mentioned that they're green, but maybe they haven't mentioned that they're blue.
That they're also
Maybe
blue.
the sand is blue.
Oh my god, that'd be so sick. Oh, a really cool like fantasy set piece would be like a big black sand desert.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so fucking hot.
It would be
It'd be
unbearably
terrible.
hot. I don't think anything could live there. It'd be awful.
Maybe like those magma snails.
Oh, those are so fucking
So cool.
The ones with the actual iron shells?
Yes.
Yeah, those are dope. They do live in volcanic vents, though. They need the vent nutrients.
Here's events.
Man, I hope there's vent creatures on other planets. Sussy among us or whatever.
I think chemosynthesis is so fucking cool.
Chemosynthesis, when they're like,
Yeah.
yum, I love nutrients
They're
that are
like
bad for
yummy
me.
chemical.
Sulfur's so
Yummy
yum.
chemical, this is my nutrient.
It's so dope. Life will make anything work. It's excellent.
Whoa. Life finds a way.
Whoa.
Maybe
Life.
Jurassic Park was right. Life. Have you seen the new ones?
No.
No,
They
I've
are
seen
bad.
it. I've seen Jurassic World, but not the other ones.
I've seen Jurassic World and the one after it, but I don't remember the one after it very well because it sucked so bad.
And
I fell
then there's a
asleep.
new one again.
I kind of
Yeah.
want to see that one.
I hear
I kinda
it is
do
a
wanna see it.
train wreck.
It sounds dreadful, and the premise is stupid. I kind of want to see it.
I
I
do
think one
wanna
of the
see
main
it.
characters is like a clone child
Oh my god.
because they figured out human cloning, and that wasn't a big deal.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a natural progression, I guess.
If we ever figure out human cloning, the world is over. Just like as we know it, it's donezo.
Yeah. Well, they sheep cloned quite a while ago.
Oh, yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah. I don't really know what they've done with.
I don't know what happened to her.
She died.
I think she died.
Well, she lived a really long life. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, she
was
died.
fine.
She lived
She's
a
a
regular
sheep who
life,
was
yeah.
born in the 90s.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah.
She had a baby.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she was like
it's Dolly.
a perfect sheep. She was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we
perfect sheep.
could probably do human cloning, but the ethics are just
Yeah, there's a lot of rules about it.
can't get around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think why has Brom never used his fucking telepathy before? There are so many situations in which it would have been incredibly useful, and
Oh,
he's just
yeah.
like, I
No,
don't think so.
he's never used it before. Uses it after telling Eragon about how evil it is, telling him you should always... Here's the method to block someone getting into your mind because it's so evil for someone to be in your mind. What do you mean you were blocking me when I tried to get in your mind?
Stop! He's like legit mad about it as well.
He's fucking pissed about it. It's like, how's he supposed to know it was you?
I had to work so hard
You
to
didn't
break down
say.
all your mental barriers.
And it's like, also Brom, he was like kind of doing it.
Yeah.
Just because your mental acuity is bad, like, I think he was a little embarrassed that he was having such a hard time and he took it out on him. It's,
And he takes it on Severa too and says, now get that oversized lizard of yours to land.
that was
He's
so rude.
uncalled
Yeah.
for.
Like, he's really mad
Don't
for
talk.
no reason. Don't talk about her like that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, not even...
So we're mind melded right now.
I am the oversized lizard, so could you be a little bit more polite? Like, not even probably 3 weeks ago, he was like crying looking at her, and now he's like,
And now he's like this bitch.
it's unbelievable.
Maybe she actually isn't talking to him ever, and he's just getting really upset about it. Maybe he's telling her a bunch of shit through mind speak, and she's like, ugh, and not replying.
Maybe she's blocking him out.
Old fucking guy keeps talking to me. I mean, that would explain how he, like, is even able to reach them while they're flying, because they are ages away.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, we've got to give it to Brom. That's a pretty good power to have. Pretty good use of his power.
Pretty good use of his power. If Eragon had any brain cells, another thing he'd be a little suspicious about.
I don't know.
But
Brom did say anyone could do it.
Yeah, it's okay.
said anyone could do it, but regular people can't do it as good as a writer.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit where he is like, he questions his not being a writer again. He's like, oh, I thought only writers could do that. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. Everybody can, and it's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then. Eragon, you are not a smart man.
I
I mean, I gotta be fair to Eragon at this moment, actually. Everything he knows is from Brom.
Yeah.
If he thinks that Brom's lying, then what's the truth?
Yeah.
Frankly, like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, he's not a very suspicious guy. Well, Brom's suspicious. Eragon is not suspicious of other people.
I have written in my notes, Brom moment. I'm just trying to figure out what.
Chapter
There has been a Brom moment, you're right.
Category 5 Brom moment.
Oh, it's something later. It's even worse. Anyway, let's talk about the tracking, I guess.
Yeah, I thought the little hint at the Razak stuff coming up was really fun.
It's cool.
And Eragon big braining and being like, wait, those gouges look like those gouges. Surely they flew away.
I thought that was really funny because Brom's like, what do you think about this? Like, it's super obvious, right? And Eragon's like, I've got it.
Getting called upon in class at any point.
Yeah.
I think Brom's realised that Eragon doesn't have excellent problem-solving skills and
He's
is
trying to work on it.
trying to exercise that muscle a little bit.
Yeah. Now, I know we are talking about him big braining that thought, and then later about him having some kind of big business brain and trade knowledge.
Why would he?
But in between, he pours acid on himself.
Yeah, no, I do have that. Written green text style, find suspicious oil that smells like your dead uncle, immediately make skin contact. Like, why did he pour that on? Like,
He put it on his hand.
you need your hands to do stuff.
Like, maybe it was a mistake, but I think it was
No, it
definitely
was on
on
purpose.
It was definitely
he
on
did it on
purpose.
purpose.
He literally was like, this smells like my house smelled and like Garrow smelled when he died and he had all those weird wounds. Anyway, like...
Have they explained why dragons and Razak are natural enemies yet?
They're
No,
just not friends.
Oh, yeah.
they're not friendly.
They don't like each other.
And then he brings it over to Brom, and he's like, "Be careful." And Brom's like, "Oh yeah, because it'll burn, right? How'd you find out?"
Did you drink it, idiot?
Yeah, I do love him being half worried that he would drink it. He's like, oh my god, he's gonna fucking drink that poison and it's gonna be all over. Reduced to a puddle.
No.
Alright, oil from the petals of the Sather plant, which grows in a small island in the frigid northern seas. Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, it is a dope.
And there's a blood
poison.
sacrifice over the oil.
That's cursed.
That's incredibly
it's
cursed.
to be like.
It's just like a normal thing, and they were like, okay, how
It's
do we
a
make
nor-
this the worst possible?
Well, it's like for some reason it's an oil, but it's also clearly an acid because they use it as jewelers. So it's probably not just an oil. I guess it could be an oil
No,
that they use.
it's a regular oil until you curse it.
Yeah, but then it becomes specifically flesh acid.
Yeah, like just for torture or assassination.
But like they use regular acids as jewelers.
Oh,
Because it could be an oil they use during polishing.
yeah, it says it's like to make
It's
pearls
for
more lustrous or
preserving.
something.
Yeah.
Preserving.
Preserving
Pearls
pearls, it
don't-
makes them
they don't
lustrous
need to-
and strong. That seems wrong.
Pearls don't.
You don't need to
rock.
Pearls don't need that,
They're
yeah.
made of like calcium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And an oil wouldn't do anything to them.
Alright, I found the
Whatever.
certified Brom
Brom
moment.
moment.
Oh, please.
It's Eragon paused to think. This oil, how rare is it exactly? Like diamonds in a pig trough, said Brom. He amended himself after a second. Actually, the normal oil's used by jewelers.
It's so rare and we'll never find it. Well,
Well,
Oh, well, actually,
and I know a guy who sells it.
no,
Ugh.
I don't think that Jode sells this, but Jode is like a big name merchant. It can
Yeah.
help them find people who sell it.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten about this plot line.
Oh, I love Jode.
Yeah, but I have remembered it, and I really also do like this plot line
I
a
was
lot.
saying
I just
to
remember
Nick while
everything
you
else
were,
in term.
I was saying to Nick while you were on the phone, that I was really excited about Jode, and I was writing it in my notes, and I spelled his name wrong as if it was like a verb of the name Joe.
J-O-E.
He Jode.
Jode
He
it.
Jode.
Yeah, he Jode. While writing our man Jode, so then I had to cross it out. And it really,
Our man did what?
so, yeah, it really negated the effect of the sentence.
Someone docks his hole to the was so fucking funny. No, yeah, I'm excited. I really like Taram. Everything that happens there is super fun. It's so
I'm
nice
so
that they're-
excited for the fucked up cat boys.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
it's so nice that they're
Solemn.
interacting with people who aren't each other. This stretch has been dire. Like, I think we're going to have a lot more to talk about when there are more than 2 characters.
There's people
And
around.
there's Saphira.
There's 3 characters.
She is in this
There's Caddock and Snowfire.
They're horses.
He talks to Caddock sometimes in his mind.
I don't think Caddock talks
He says,
back,
go
though.
stand over there. He stands in the wind with his ass to the wind.
Completely still.
Funny.
I know that he's just a horse and has literally no personality, but I like him a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of gutted that he gets rid of him later. I don't like Snowfire because we don't spend any time with him.
Snowfire is nothing.
He doesn't
Snowfire
touch.
is just like...
He doesn't touch Snowfire's mind.
No.
Snowfire doesn't stand really funny in the wind.
Snowfire is just the best horse in that stable that Brom stole for no reason except his pride.
I bought it.
I gotta have the best horse. Like, it was just, it was about
Need the
him.
horse that
It
good.
felt like
He
theft.
could have had that bay mare.
Yeah, like any other horse.
But he's a cool wizard riding a cool horse.
Yeah.
No, he's a normal
Or is,
guy.
or is
Normal guy.
Caddock the bay? I can't remember. One of them was a
Caddock
bay.
was a
and
runner.
Caddock's just
I
a... Yeah.
Not that I really know
I don't
what
know, just
horse
a
I can't
different
colours
really
are.
house.
remember what Roan looks like.
I think it's a kind of like sandy.
I think he's like a...
orange.
I don't know. I'm googling it right now.
Yeah, I do like Eragon's little plan though. I like how surprised Brom is
Brom's
that
like,
he
"Holy
came up with
shit,
it. He's like, oh
actually.
shit,
No, you're
actually that
right."
might work.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
like-
god, I love him even more. He's cute.
Can I see him?
Look, he's got colours.
Oh, he's so pretty.
Aw.
Fuck Snowfire.
Fuck Snowfire.
Man, white
Caddock's
horses are so
cute.
boring. Whatever. And he probably has those scary eyes.
Hmm.
Caddock's cute and he's named after your grandpa.
And you sell him.
Have faith for Caddock.
You hate him. It's so sad.
Right, so they go to the spine, the mountains by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it'll be a week to get to the pass. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, listen. It's
Looking
okay.
at the map.
It's not right, but it's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Saphira
They
says
don't
actually
mention
fine,
the
we can
Fläm.
share.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to get a beach house at Fläm.
Yeah. So they
We
decide...
gotta change our podcast name to Beach House at Fläm.
Beach house at Fläm. That's actually really
This
good.
could be the episode title.
Oh, that's pretty good. New Year's at Fläm with the boys.
The decision that he and Saphira come to is that they should do on and off days Saphira and Caddock and Brom so that he can continue to... They basically put it as if it's like continuing his schooling.
Yeah.
You can hang out with me one day, but then you gotta go to school the next day.
You're gonna go get beaten up.
No, he gets beaten up every night anyway.
Yeah.
Every night.
He just gets like made fun of and taught like a new word or whatever every day.
Yeah, his training's going okay though.
Yeah.
They had their nightly fight, but it lacked energy.
Too tired.
Yeah, I'm so
tired.
happy that he's learnt my favourite Eragon trick, which is shoot pebble at something.
Oh, yeah.
It's so energy efficient and it never misses. It's great.
And I think he's put down the bow.
Hit or
You
miss,
know?
huh?
It's the
Hit or miss, huh?
Really sorry for making you say that loud.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
shooting at people really good.
Well, it's basically a gun.
Yeah. Damn, Eragon invented a
Eragon's got a
gun.
silent gun. He's got a
Holy
fucking
shit.
silent pistol and he's annihilating rabbits.
I think he should use that more often. He uses it against Urgles later, right?
Yeah, he uses it's the same people.
The same people,
Yeah, it's the same
he brings
people.
it with him.
It's his favorite little people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this
Is it the people that Brom made him carry?
Yeah.
Ages ago?
It's the people that Brom made him
It
levitate.
is just a rock that Brom found. Thought like,
I think
He was like,
Carry
don't
this
throw away
forever.
that rock.
You're gonna
He's
do
like,
not.
I will
I
not
think he
throw
gets
away
sad
this
about
rock.
it later. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it's definitely spiritual successor to being bow guy.
yeah.
We have established that he is emotionally attached to rocks.
He's such a king, getting emotionally attached to objects.
No, I don't know if this happens, but I'm like imagining he's going to throw the rock away and then he looks at it and a single tear drops from his eye. I don't think this happens, but I think it'd be really funny.
I wish. I want him to really. I wish he still had Roran's shiny river stone so he could really conk some bitches.
Yeah.
Because that being launched full force at your head is an absolute death sentence.
Oh,
That's not the pebble is just like very kindly shunk and you're gone, but the rock is like cave your skull
Like,
in.
destroys you.
That's what he uses when he's mad.
Yeah. Brom's really emo about the ocean.
Oh my god, what's wrong with him?
I don't even know. He's not like a coastal guy. I don't think he's ever lived on the coast. As far as we know, he's never like lived on the coast or anything.
Yeah.
He's not. He wasn't born there. He's just really weird about it.
I've never thought about Eragon not knowing what the sea
I don't
is.
know what the
Never seen
ocean
it.
looks
You've
like.
seen the
What's
sea?
the ocean like?
There are people who've never seen the ocean, dude. Like,
Crazy.
it's so
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
There's like a lot.
It's insane to
Bro,
me.
fucked up.
Just go there.
Yeah, I grew up in a coastal town, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
I-
Yeah, well, you're in New Zealand. You grew
Yeah.
up in a coastal town.
Well, there are some that aren't, I guess.
Yeah, some of them are on lakes.
Well, there's like
I guess, like...
the Tron.
Yeah.
Ooh. Not a real city.
But yeah, I grew up and I could see the ocean from my house. So, in two different places.
Yeah.
I could see the harbour and the coast on the other side.
Pretty good.
Yeah, 10-minute drive from the beach. Went there very frequently.
Yeah.
Sucks to be
Also,
Eragon.
10-minute drive
Eragon.
from the beach. So,
Although, I gotta say, it's not all that Brom's making it out to be.
yeah.
It's okay.
I gotta say, Brom's description, I don't think he's grown up or lived near the sea very often.
No.
Yeah.
He's just seen it a couple times and is weird.
Yeah.
Because if it's normal to you, you don't talk about it like that.
Like, it can be very beautiful and
It's
cool,
going to be very
but
beautiful and nice, but it's part of the natural world.
it's like the water near my house. It's okay. My last note for this one is, why did the Razak use this like incredibly expensive poison on some random scarecrow from a village?
Yeah, it's like, as far as they knew,
Yeah.
Garrett was already dead.
I don't know, do you think they were trying to get information out of him?
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's
like,
not
why did
anything.
they use
could've-
this with...
They could have used
And
anything.
then they dropped it, and Brom specifies, the king's gonna be so mad at them for losing this.
How expensive is this shit? That the king
was
is like,
mad.
fuck, this is gonna put me into debt. Oh my god, my coffers. He's like balancing the books like, shit.
Shit, the Razak dropped their bottle. They
It's like
didn't
a-
go back for it.
It's like a wee whiskey flask.
It's like, bro, curse it yourself. You have evil powers, just curse it.
Just make a new one. Whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah, my last note is about Brom hating the weather and that he had never survived the West Coast.
He's like, it's so wet, it's horrible.
It's wet and horrible. There's bugs.
There's moss.
Which, to be fair, I don't think I would survive the West Coast because there's sandflies everywhere.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's
I
too
think
much.
I'd have a nervous
Alive.
breakdown.
Yeah.
They don't particularly like me, but I get really freaked. I get like psychic.
You're eating too many
damage.
bananas.
I get like, I see that there are little bugs everywhere and my brain makes up that they're crawling on me.
No.
And like I feel it. It's
I haven't
really
seen
horrible.
anyone
I think
talks
that
about
I would
having
lose
nits.
it.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, I have nits.
Ah.
Yeah, no, the West Coast is crazy. We used to camp a lot in like Mavora, which is near Fiordland, and the sandfly situation was genuinely horrific.
Did you come back like sunken and emptied?
Yeah, like I came back garrowed. No, but just like fully, you'd have to be covered like wrist to ankle
Oh,
and
wow.
any crevice. Like you
They're
could
just
see
fucking
where
get in
the
there.
lines on your clothing would be because it would just be like rows of mosquito bites.
Oh,
it was
horrible.
horrible. And we kept going
Kept
camping.
going.
I think
there.
insects don't like me, so...
They love me, my blood's delicious.
Well, apparently I'm foul. And they hate it. And I gotta say, pretty pleased about that. Very, very, very rarely get bug bites.
It's pretty good.
So that's kind of a good power to have. Good low level
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
What's your last one?
Oh, no, I don't have
Oh, was it
any
the
more notes on
category
this
5
one.
from?
Yeah. Well, I've written down dragons, and that was the tracking thing. I think the dragons thing was why do Razak hate dragons?
Nick's notes are so funny. They're just like 2 or 3 words on a post-it, and I haven't seen yours, but mine are pages and pages of shit I'm gonna throw up.
Mine are sometimes like 3 words.
I know
It
I'm on
depends.
summary for this, but I have like 7 pages of notes.
Oh, I legit have I've got 1.5 pages of notes for this. When I'm on summary, I have maybe a tiny bit more. They're just different.
I have about a post-it per chapter.
I have,
Well,
if
I
I'm
wrote
on
these like 20
summary,
minutes ago.
I have maybe 2 pages of summary and then maybe like another page where I have the interjections that I normally have, but I don't put them into the summary.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I don't need, I feel like I don't need to write all the detail because I remember it and I can just add this up in.
My summaries are just denser post-it notes.
Beautiful handwriting. Look over here, King. Don't ever doubt yourself again.
My handwriting used to be much worse.
No,
Anyway.
it does not.
It just got better.
No, I had to relearn how to write.
My God. Yeah, the Song for the Road chapter is just another one of...
Oh wait! I
you
have
have
I have stuff to talk about his song.
I think the song is funny.
I think it's so funny because he's like, "I'm gonna live translate this song for you." It must be fucking shit.
Yeah.
That must be a miserable experience for Eragon. He's like, "Fuck! I wish I was with Saphira." Brom's like conjugating his verb wrong and starting over and over again.
He does pause for a... He's like silent for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I
he's
took
like
that to be him,
pausing
like,
between lines, like translating in his head.
and he's singing.
And he's
Oh, God,
singing,
he's singing.
unaccompanied by anything.
What if Brom's
Why
a
did-
belter? What if he's
why-
fantastic?
Why didn't he just sing it in the ancient language?
Well, maybe
That
he
would
would
sound a lot
accidentally make
better.
some shit come to life.
Oh, yeah, he'd accidentally do some magic.
Well, I mean, if he was trying to do magic,
That's
people
true.
just talk in that language and it's fine. Why didn't he just sing it and then say this is what the song's about? Instead of being like, I'm going to do a little live translation for you and sing this incredibly jarring.
Yeah, the fact that that translation is legible at all, he must be incredibly good at the ancient language. Like, first language level of literacy at the ancient language
He's got the
to be
word
able to do
twixt
this.
in there.
Yeah.
He's got like or. Like,
Or
it's insane. He's way too good at this.
But yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, I would be fucking miserable if someone was doing this.
actually seeing how...
And I was on a damn horse and I couldn't go anywhere.
No, he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't pause between lines. He's just silent for a while. So I think he's translating the whole verse.
thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, said Eragon simply. I think he's lying.
Yeah, he's like, that was
He's
cool.
like, alright, nice.
That was really cool, Grandpa. Thanks. It's also just like
Oh, thank you, Grandpa.
I have a really bad reading habit from Redwall because there's a lot of these kind of songs in them.
Oh, you just skip them?
And I completely just skip them
Yeah.
because they don't drive the plot at all. So when I read this, I read my chapters twice every time so I can remember what happens. But when I read this the first time, I completely skipped it, and then they were talking about it, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to actually read this."
Yeah, no, I hate when they have songs in books because it sucks to read lyrics.
Yeah.
That's why when I read The Hobbit, and it goes on for like 3 pages.
Oh my god. It's like, I don't know the tune. I can't vibe with
Can't
you.
make
I'm
this up in my
sorry.
head.
Also, like,
It's
what's
just
the-
like shit poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry is designed to stand alone. Song lyrics aren't. They
Yeah, why
really
didn't he
suck
tell
to
him
read.
like a nice poem he knows?
Yeah.
Would have been way better. Because he clearly knows everything.
Yeah,
I
he
think
clearly
that maybe-
knows a lot.
Like, elven songs are poetry because they're naturally singing. That's how the language could be.
Songy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, if I went to a country and everybody was singing instead of talking all the time, I frankly don't know what I would do. I would be in hell.
What if you met a guy and the only way he could talk was like screamo?
Like living in a musical, but everyone's got their own genre. That'd be cute.
Cute!
But I mean...
For the extent of the one musical.
Yeah.
If it was everyday life.
Everyday life.
I
You
would
go to the
top myself.
shops. You go like fucking...
You go to the shops. And this
Gary
guy's...
trying to get a coffee or something.
Oh my God,
He's like singing at you.
The guys behind the bar at the...
song.
The guys behind the bar at your local are a barbershop quartet.
Oh, miserable world. That is the world
Just want a pint.
Bro, please.
Song and dance, ordering your drink.
You have to do it, otherwise
to
they
do the
won't
dance.
serve you. My God. This is the world that
You
Broadway
speak in
people
a flat
want.
tone and they just blank you.
Like, what did you just say? They're like really offended.
Yeah.
I'm
We don't do
sorry.
that here.
I'm sorry. I'm mumble rap.
That's the only like listenable time. We're just putting off talking about this chapter.
There's not a lot of this
We
chapter.
finished.
Yeah.
What else is there?
It's just that like
They
there's-
come up with their fake names. They say Eragon has to ride the horse every day now in case someone they meet on the road
is like
but sees them in town and was like, where was that guy? And then they walk through, then they go to the river and Eragon's like, what do you mean this river's going to bring us to town? It's flowing the wrong direction. Like, owned, destroyed grandpa. And he's like, checkmate, there's a lake.
But, why is everything green?
because of the fog, idiot. That wouldn't stop it from being cold, but whatever.
Eragon gets ripped. He says everything about me is turning hard.
Oh.
God. Don't say that.
Eragon, that's your business.
Yeah, I really like these.
He was already a farm boy.
Yeah.
Why is this hard?
Yeah.
Why are you not like already jacked?
I guess they were just like harvesting potatoes and Swedes or whatever.
Obsessed with Swedes. Kind of wish I had a Swede. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
You can't just get them from the supermarket right now.
You can just buy
Yeah.
a Swede.
Nice. I might get me some mash. But yeah, I kind of like the rhythm almost of having these little
travel
scene-setting chapters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of like when they move into a new area, it's like, okay, here's what it looks like and here's what the vibe is. I thought it was interesting that when Brom's talking about Tarim, he's like, oh, it's never been taken over and its warriors have never been defeated. And it's like, why?
This is a port town.
Yeah.
Why would
Why-
we ever be attacked also?
Why are you telling him this? Are
Well,
you
it's
like
just
planning
like-
on scaling the walls?
But it's also like, what wars? We've not had any mention of any wars except for like Urkel's fighting people occasionally.
And also like the dragon.
Yeah, I guess Fall
War.
of the Dragon War and the Fall of the Dragon Riders, maybe. Was
But
it?
But that
I
wasn't
don't
a
think-
war.
And also, I don't think that happened anywhere near term.
Yeah. How are we pronouncing it? Is it
It's
Term? Or
Term.
Term? That's horrible.
Term.
Term.
Tim.
I'm checking the pronunciation, guys.
Oh, it specifically says T-erm.
Term.
I've been...
Oh, that sucks.
I've been...
No, it says term. Term?
T-erm.
Yo! My book's got a special preview of Eldest.
Yeah, mine
Oh,
does
yeah,
as well.
Sick.
But it just makes it really hard to find the pronunciation guide. I wish
Yeah.
it wasn't in there.
I mean,
It's
if I
just-
hadn't read Eldest, I'd be pretty glad for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that I have a copy of Eldest, I wish it wasn't in there.
Yeah, I might when I go home for Christmas, I might get all my other books.
Oh yeah, you could bring them up. Well, you'll need them. You'll need Eldest next year.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because
we'll
we'll be
finish
done
Eragon.
with it.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what do you guys? You both looked really conspiratorial and scary. It's like, what are you guys planning on doing?
We're planning on continuing
We're planning on
this podcast.
continuing.
Yeah, the
our
podcast. I hope.
The podcast that we're recording right now.
What? What? I thought I was just hanging out in my room.
Oh
God.
I'm gonna bring my base up at Christmas. Very excited.
Yo.
I need to buy a hard case for it though, so that I can check it. And then
Bless
$20
you.
to check a fucking bag.
Oh.
which is just how much it costs. But
Yeah.
I'm mad about it.
Oh, it was 10.
I thought it was way more.
But it's like 70 if you're doing it there.
It's way more if you're doing it last minute.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I'm adding a checked bag to my flight on
That's
the
fine.
28th of December, and it's now current date, I'm not going to say the current dates because it'll date our podcast episode.
Yeah, we do have to cut the bit where I completely dated the podcast, but don't worry about it. Okay, do we want to
We
talk
should
about
probably
anything
cut the
else?
part where you talked about doxing his hole as well.
That part was quiet, but yeah, we can't cut it out.
But it was completely out of context. We can't have it.
Can't be in there.
I'll bring it up later in context somehow. Yeah, I don't have. I have 2 notes for this. This chapter is very
Yeah.
small. Nothing
Mine's
happens.
done.
I have they will be Neil and they will be Evan.
Lame.
Yeah, there's a funny little throwaway line like people have a annoying habit of remembering things they shouldn't.
I wonder if that's going to come up again.
Wow, Brom, you're so mysterious.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh man, you're so cool and mysterious.
I really, really thought. Like, I forgot this whole Tarum section existed, and I really thought that he was gonna kick it real soon.
Yeah, I
well, he's
thought
gonna
was a
kick
lot
it, but
earlier.
like partying.
He's chilling, yeah.
I liked him a lot. I'm looking forward to the description because my memory of like what it looks like is cool.
Yeah, most of the time that like I think most of the descriptions we get are at night, which is like it's a very cool night city, and I like
Yeah.
Jode's house. I think his place is cool. And do we meet Angela next week?
Yes, we
I
do.
think so. We looked at
3
the-
chapters we got are A Taste of Tarum, An Old Friend, and The Witch and the Werecat.
Ooh.
I'm
So
so
excited to
excited.
meet Angela.
Yeah, so excited. And Solemn Bomb?
Solemn.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know how
Let's
else you
check the
could say it.
pronunciation guide
I'm
real
flicking
quick.
to the
Is he going to be in there?
I don't know. I don't
think
know
so.
that he'll be in there.
It's a sport. No,
He's not in there.
Arya's in there, and Solemn Bum isn't in there.
Yeah, I don't know how else you would say it though, so I guess that I just have it sounds silly.
Like, we're all
It's
saying it
silly.
the same way, so I mean...
Yeah, but I said it first there and I was really worried someone was gonna go like, aha!
I've got you.
You fool, you don't know that it's
Solemn boom.
you didn't
There's
know
no
that
way.
there's like 6 silent letters in there.
It's pronounced Tiffany.
Yeah, I was having a brief moment of fear that that would happen, but I'm glad that we're all in agreement
on the
that his
same
dumbass name is Solemn Bum.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're going to get to a place. I'm
Oh, put him in a location.
Put
They're going to
them in a
stay in that location for a little
it's gonna
bit.
be so
Events are
good.
going to happen.
like the travel bits. I think are really necessary and interesting. Well, not interesting. I like
They're
them.
necessary and they're good for, like, narrative for a break.
Yeah,
or
I like them in a
pacing.
fantasy book. I
Yeah.
think I really like that. That
Just
Tolkien is
downtime,
just like
being able to breathe for a bit.
yeah. I think that the time amount of time he spent on it is really good. I read a Cavern of Black Ice by J.V. Jones, and the whole fucking book is just them walking through like a horrible snowscape, and it
Oh,
was
man.
miserable. So this was like
There's
good,
a balance.
good pacing.
There's a balance. It's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for Tarum.
Yeah.
Tarum. It
Tarum.
rips. It's fun. I'm really excited for Eragon to see the ocean for the first time. I think it's going to be really funny.
I'm excited for Saphira to go to an ocean or like a big lake. Because doesn't she love swimming?
I think so.
Yeah. I hope she can fish. It's going to be so cute.
I have memories of her loving swimming in the big lake at Dres Leona.
Not sure if she gets to swim in Tarum.
Well, she could go up the coast a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
I'm not sure if
City.
she does though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what she does while they're in the city.
I think she just hangs out in the forest.
I think that
Probably
she's
chills on the
moved. I
spine.
think she's emo
Yeah.
and sad.
Yeah.
Gumpy.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to it.
Fucking Cadox in the town.
Oh, you want to hang out with your horse?
What?
Shana, you on summary next week?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Alright.
Woohoo.
All right. Yeah, thank you for listening. We'll see you
Woohoo.
next week.